Hello traders, this is Cloudzy FX. In today's video, we're going to be doing a quick analysis on USDJPY starting from the weekly time frame. At first, I would have started the analysis from the 12 months time frame, which is the time frame I start my analysis from, to see the overall and clear picture of the market. But due to the fact that I just want to do a quick analysis, so I'm going to be starting this from this weekly time frame. Now, what we're going to be focusing on the weekly time frame is simple. And what is that? The major recent break of structure. Now, the major recent break of structure on the weekly time frame on USDJPY is bullish. And also, the second major recent break of structure, the previous one, is also bullish. Now, if you have been watching my previous video, you will see how I keep mentioning about trading range. And I said that range is, for a layman understanding, something that have a sweep of liquidity and a break of structure. After the break of structure is going to create or have an internal range liquidity. If it doesn't have internal range liquidity, it's going to create or engineer liquidity, then take it out before the expansion. Now, on the process of taking those liquidity, on the process of taking out those liquidities and mitigating your POI is known as what? The retracement of the range. Then when the range gets to the POI, when the price gets to the POI and does what? You just from it, that's known as what? Expansion. As you can see, we have our sweep of liquidity here and also a break of structure here. Now we have these liquidities with this profit price took out. After taking it out, it broke another structure, which is this recent break of structure. That's why I called it what? A major recent break of structure on the weekly time frame. So now, after breaking this structure or before breaking this structure, it first sweep this liquidity. You understand? Now we have an internal liquidity. All these things you're seeing here is known as what? A swing lows. It will be very clear on the daily time frame or the H4 time frame. So now what I'm expecting is for the market, for the price, I always keep mentioning about this market, is for the price to retrace back and give me something like this, something that's like confirmation entry, you understand, a change of character when market structure shifts to confirm the bullishness of this range. So this is what I'm expecting to see, and I'm expecting to see this on the daily time frame or the H4 time frame. If not, price might just flip down and take us out. So we can't enter this trade directly from here. We must wait for a confirmation entry on the daily time frame or the H4 time frame to confirm fully about the bullishness of this range. Now let's go to the daily time frame or the H4. Let's go to the H4 time frame, not the daily. Sorry for the network delay. So this is the range on the H4 time frame. This is the previous range. You can see how clear it is on the H4 time frame. Now this is what the sweep of liquidity is swept here before breaking this structure here. Now after breaking this structure, it came backward to sweep another liquidity, which is right about here, before breaking this structure again. Now this is now the current range I'm looking forward to trade from. You understand? Now what I'm expecting now is what I'm waiting for now is the retracement of this range, which I think have started right about here on the H4 time frame. Now, if you read the market structure, the previous market structure around this point, you will see that very clear that this is an uptrend market. You understand? So it changed from this uptrend to a downtrend by doing what? Breaking below this last higher low here. So when breaking, after the market broke this last high low, it indicates a market structure shift, which means it has shifted from this uptrend to a downtrend, which means the next trend we are going to be focusing on or watching out for is a downward movement in order to take out all these liquidities here and do what? Mitigate our PUI before expanding to the upside. Remember, I told you that we should wait for confirmation entry on the daily time frame around this point. We can't enter it directly or snipe it direct from here because I did not start the analysis from the 12 months time frame, which is the time frame I always start my analysis from. I started this from the weekly time frame, so it is a high risk. It is a low probability setup around here, so we should always use confirmation entry around this point. Whenever price gets to this point, we will wait for confirmation entry before taking the trade. Now let's focus on the current market price on the H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, we have what break of structure, sweep of liquidity, and the market have what an internal liquidity here and also engineered liquidity. This is an engineered liquidity here, or an inducement, a trap. Most people would think that this is the point of interest. Most people would take this as what liquidity and inducement and make here as their POI. And the market mitigated it and move little before taking the this is known as what an inducement. Now this is the main POI of this range from this break of structure, this liquidity, sweep of liquidity, and this is the POI. So what I'm expecting for the market to do what? Take out this external liquidity here. You understand? So after the market did what? Touched this POI here, it also came back to break another structure to the downside. If you do the market structure here on the lower time frame, you will see that it is in an uptrend and it changed from this uptrend again to a downtrend. You understand? By breaking this last higher low here again. This is what? This is another range on the lower time frame, on the smaller time frame like the H1 time frame. This is a sweep of liquidity and this is what? A break of structure. So we have our internal liquidity sitting right about here, which the market has taken out now and mitigated our PUI here. So I'm expecting the price to get to this point. This is my first tip profit, and this will be my second tip, the last tip profit on this setup. In total, we have 1 to 13 RR on this trade. So that is that, guys.